everybody, and happy Mental Health Monday. So today it is time for another lesson from nature, and I love these ones that just started naturally, because honestly nature is where I started feeling gratitude the most, when I started focusing on that after I was diagnosed and after I was through treatment. And I always love when I can pull a lesson from nature. It always makes me feel like, you know, we're in partnership with this natural world around us. It's not just us on our own, and that's a comforting feeling. So today we are talking about slowing down, and this has been and continues to be an area where I struggle. I've talked about it before, but I call myself a recovering people pleaser. And I think that's a symptom of many things from my past, that I started healing as a result of going through cancer, and that I'm still working on healing. It's an ongoing process. But I think one symptom of the people pleasing is that I put a lot of pressure on myself, and sometimes the person that I'm trying to please is me. This was heightened after cancer, this pressure, for a couple of reasons. I think for a lot of us, the first and most obvious reason is that cancer undeniably puts into focus that time is finite, that this life is finite. And especially when we're diagnosed at a young age, where we're still at that age where we feel like we're invincible and we're going to be around forever, it can be a real slap in the face. I know it was for me. And so this increases those feelings of pressure, of those feelings of, I have to get this done now. I have to get through this list of stuff because, you know, time's running out. So that's a very common way that we start feeling pressure after we've been diagnosed. And then the other place where, for me anyway, the other reason for me anyway, that I think I started feeling that pressure more as after I was diagnosed is that, you know, in response to the anxiety and the stress and the lack of control I felt after I was diagnosed, my response to that was to research and learn and implement as many things into an integrative healing protocol as I possibly could, so that I could get back some of that sense of control. And that was great. You know, that pressure, that urgency is one of the things that motivated me to do that research, to do that learning, and to implement and then stay on top of the implementation of all of those things. But I really, especially in that first year and a half after diagnosis, I put so much pressure and stress on myself to do every single thing from my protocol every single day, or as often as possible. So I was doing every day, I was doing meditating, journaling, working out, juicing and or smoothies, a coffee enema every day, a sauna. I was doing it every day for a while there. And then I was doing, for a while, I was doing a colonic every week as well. Vitamin C IV every week. For the first 6 months, that was twice a week. So I had a lot that was going on. And for the first 6 or 8 months, I wasn't doing anything except healing. But of course, as life goes on and we start moving into life after cancer, it was unreasonable to expect myself to be able to continue to do all of these things all of the time. But I continued to try for another 8 months or so and make myself feel really bad and really guilty when I wasn't able to do everything, because there is only so much time in the day. And I realized recently that I've taken this sense of urgency into a lot of aspects of my life. And I found that I was, even when I was doing a task that I had set for myself to do on any given day, I was rushing through it and I was feeling anxiety because I was already thinking about the next thing that I was on my list and feeling anxious and guilty that I hadn't already gotten to that thing. So I ended up completely taking myself out of the present moment for much of my day, and constantly worrying about the next thing on my list. And so even though there was joy to find in each task that I was doing each day, even if it was work, I never got to find and experience that joy. I was cutting myself off from it because I was instead focusing on what was going to come next and beating myself up for not getting there, for not being there yet. And so I was thinking about this, maybe a month or two ago, because it was a pattern that I had started to notice in my working day. And I happened to be up north. I was in nature. I was in a very comfortable, secure, safe place. And I started thinking about this need to rush. And I looked around at nature surrounding me, and it was the beginning of spring. And so things were transitioning, things were changing, things were growing. And it made me think that I could learn something from nature in this context, because nature doesn't rush. It doesn't put pressure on itself. Plants and animals go about their lives just innately trusting that spring is going to come, that they're going to wake up from hibernation. They just trust that these things are going to happen. They don't worry whether they will or not. They don't, they don't try to control it. They just go about the things that their intuition, that their animal nature draws them to do. And, nature, plants, animals, they definitely do not set unattainably high standards on themselves based upon what they think that they should accomplish or what they think other people think they should accomplish. It's just not even on the table. They just live. And realizing this is to absorb a really important, powerful, beautiful lesson about the value in just slowing down and surrendering our timeline and what we think should happen and when we think it should happen, and just trusting that things are happening as they are meant to and when they are meant to. And, we absolutely should take steps to achieve the things we want to achieve, particularly with our healing, because the best way to heal is to take an active role in your healing, as I talk about all the time, becoming an active member of your healing team. But healing has no set timeline. It's going to be different for everybody. And the things that are going to help us heal are also going to be potentially different for everybody. At least aspects of that healing is going to be. So when we try to rush through that process, of course we want to get to the end where we're well and we're happy and we've moved on into life after cancer. But rushing that process is to potentially miss really important opportunities and avenues to explore in our healing. So when we can relax and open up and be present, then we are much more likely to recognize those opportunities for other ways of healing, other tools, other paths, other areas of our healing that we maybe haven't explored yet. We are far more likely to notice those and then be able to take advantage of them if we have slowed down, opened up, and sort of released that tension and that control that we have around healing, or, whatever timeline it is that you're struggling with right now. And when we are more relaxed and more calm, and less wound up and tight and controlling about it, then we have less fear, less anxiety, less stress. Those emotions get replaced with confidence and faith and peace and calm. And that's just a much more beneficial and effective place to heal from than one of tightness and closing and control. And so the more you practice this in your healing journey, the more it will spread to other areas of your life as well. Because I recognize now on the other side that I did that for the beginning of my healing journey. I tried to control and force as much as I could. So now it wasn't until my life after cancer, my working life, that I actually noticed that pattern, because I had already been practicing being more in touch with myself and my body and my emotions and really getting to know myself well. So if you can start doing that now while you're on your healing journey, you will notice that same attitude and that same ability to be present and open and more relaxed, and more confident that things are just, happening as they are meant to, when they are meant to. That will spread into areas of your life after cancer as well. And that is just one of the most beautiful gifts that you can take with you from your cancer experience, because it will help you to thrive after cancer and not simply just survive, because life after cancer is also full of stress and anxiety and fear. And so doing what we can when we can to reduce those feelings and to habituate a more peaceful state within our body more consistently, more regularly, more of the time. That's just going to help us in so many ways in our physical healing, but also our mental and our emotional health after cancer as well. So my advice today is to just let go and be present and try to release every day. Just try to release a little bit more of that control and welcome in a little bit more of that ease into your life. I hope that you guys have an absolutely wonderful rest of your Monday, or whatever day of the week it happens to be while you are watching this. Make sure you subscribe to the Solis YouTube channel by clicking the little icon down in the corner, one side or the other, and check out all the other videos that we have on the YouTube channel as well. You can click on playlists, and there you'll find meditations, EFT tapping videos, interviews, and of course all of my other Mental Health Monday vlogs as well. Thank you once again for checking out this video. I hope that you found it helpful and supportive, and we will see you here next week for another Mental Health Monday. In the meantime, happy healing. Bye, guys.